But behind the smiles, perhaps a different story. Those same documents now revealing that Chris was actively involved in an affair with a coworker, something he had previously denied. But according to Shanann's friend Nickole Atkinson, the last friend to see her alive, there were signs the couple's marriage was straining.
He wasn't being the loving Chris that he normally was. He wasn't touching or hugging or doing stuff like that. And he wasn't being as attentive to the girls as he normally is.
Did she suspect he might have been cheating?
There was speculation, but she didn't want to believe that either, so.
All of this a far cry from the portrait of a happy wife on Facebook gushing about her supportive husband.
He stuck around, and he stuck around because he was the one for me. And he is amazing. And I can't tell you how wonderful he is.
Atkinson had seen Shanann that morning around 2 a.m., she says, dropping her off at home after returning from an out-of-town business trip.
She went inside, turned around and waved at me, and shut the door.
But several hours later, the 34-year-old mother of two isn't answering her phone. She misses a doctor's appointment. Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant.
She was going to get to hear the baby's heartbeat and see how he or she was doing.
Growing worried, Atkinson says she went over to their house.
Things were not how I would think that they were supposed to be, I guess. The front door was locked differently than it normally was. I had my son look in the garage to see if her car was there, and it was there, which was really peculiar because Shanann doesn't go places without her car, usually because both of the girls are in car seats.
Atkinson calls Shanann's husband, who she says tells her the last time he saw his wife and kids was that morning around 5:15 when he left for work.
So he tells you everything's normal, she's on a play date.
Yes.
And you didn't buy that?
No, because Shanann, like in my mind, I couldn't figure out why she'd go on a play date without her car.
Atkinson says she tells Watts she's calling the police for a welfare check and that he says he'll meet her at the couple's home.
You knew even then his story was not adding up.
It wasn't making sense to me.
Inside the house, authorities find Shanann's purse, phone, and keys, but no other signs of life.
The girls' beds weren't made. Shanann was very OCD. Everything in her house had a place. Everything was labeled. If something was out of the ordinary, it was really out of the ordinary for her.
Still hopeful Shanann and her girls are alive, the entire community jumps into action.
Tonight, police issued a missing endangered alert.
A pregnant woman and her two daughters missing from Frederick.
By Tuesday afternoon, Chris Watts is talking to local TV stations.
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back.
Interviews that first evoked sympathy, but on closer examination, suspicion. Watts revealing he and his wife exchanged words the morning she vanished.
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back.
On Tuesday, what did you think of his demeanor overall?
Yeah, it was very odd. He just was sitting there waiting for something to happen. The last time I talked to him, he said, "I just want to cry." And I looked at him and said, "Why aren't you?"
On Wednesday, everything changed.
A heartbreaking outcome to the story we have been tracking all week, the confession of a father.
I didn't know what to say or do. I don't know. I sat on our bed for I don't even know how long and didn't move because I didn't want to think that they weren't coming back.
Late Wednesday night, Watts is arrested. By Thursday, police were at the oil fields where Watts used to work and within hours found 3 bodies. Court documents revealed they discovered Shanann's body in a shallow grave. The bodies of Bella and Celeste found submerged for days in oil tanks.
You have the right to counsel. You understand? Yes, sir.
In an interview with authorities, Watts filling in the blanks. According to an affidavit, he loaded all 3 bodies into the backseat of his work truck and took them to an oil.
Nickole Atkinson had been Shanann Watts' friend for years, a confidant, a co-worker, someone who shared daily routines and laughter. They spoke frequently, joked about small things, and leaned on each other in ordinary ways that made life feel lighter. On the morning of August 13, 2018, Nickole expected another message, another check-in from Shanann. But the phone stayed silent. At first, she tried to shrug it off. People get busy. Traffic, work, errands. But something deep inside whispered that this was different. Something was wrong. That sense of unease grew with every passing hour, and by midday, it had turned into urgent fear. Nickole couldn't ignore it. She remembered details, the way Shanann usually never missed a call, how the kids' routines were meticulously predictable, and how Shanann's energy seemed invincible online. Driving to the Watts home in Frederick, Colorado, Nickole felt a knot tightening in her stomach. Every small detail, the mail on the porch, the silence of the street, the stillness behind the windows, made her heart pound. She called the police before even knocking. It was a strange mixture of disbelief and determination. She couldn't just leave. Waiting at the doorstep, she felt the weight of responsibility pressing down. Something was coming, something irreversible. When officers arrived and Chris Watts opened the door, Nickole could sense the tension in the air. Every movement, every word, felt like a test she had no preparation for. And though she didn't know it yet, this day would mark the start of a trauma that would stay with her for the rest of her life. If you're drawn to the unseen moments behind true crime stories like this, take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. The day stretched endlessly for Nickole. She stood silently as police moved through the house, her senses alert to every detail. Chris Watts tried to appear composed, but she could feel the tension beneath his calm. The house felt wrong in ways words could not capture, Shanann's shoes by the door, her personal belongings untouched, the quiet that clung to the rooms like a heavy curtain. Each passing minute was excruciating, a mixture of hope and dread. Nickole watched, she questioned, she stayed present when most would have left. She felt an instinctive responsibility, the deep knowledge that ignoring this moment could cost lives. Small details struck her, the way the air felt colder, the strange arrangement of objects, the eerie absence of children's laughter. With each observation, the impossible truth began to crystallize. Her heart ached, but she could not falter. There was a job to do, and she knew it. As the sun began to dip behind the horizon, the full weight of reality pressed down on her. The world seemed to move on outside, oblivious to the horror unfolding inside the walls of a house that should have been filled with laughter and warmth. Nickole's eyes stayed wide, unblinking, holding every detail in her memory. She became a witness not only to the crime but to the unraveling of a life she had cherished. Stories like this remind us how quickly life can change. If this moment is hitting you, tap like so this story reaches more people. And even as darkness fell, Nickole understood that her life would never feel ordinary again.
What's that?
Nothing on there. You just have my camera. Truck up to the truck. Lay down.
I'm loading my stuff up in my coolers, my water jugs, my book bag, my computers, some of the tools that I had from the toolbox. I knew I was going to have to do some pumping unit rubbers today. That's why I was out so far.
Is this on continually recording?
Yep. Well,
it's not. Is it motion or is it? Okay, so it's motion.
I usually park out there on the side. I just want to get everything back in. Be easier to lug everything out there, all the tools that I had to bring in. What else can I do with this?
My detective just showed up, so he'll probably want to talk to you. He'd probably, like I said, he might have you call at the bank and see if there's any kind of activity.
Because if there is any sort of action out there,
his camera's
I would have got it.
Like
right.
We had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff like that. And I had parked my truck.
I had your park right here.
Yeah. So Usually someone,
see if
I could see where someone tried to jimmy with a flathead screwdriver over there, and it was just like.
But if any action would have happened, any cars or anything left your house, I would have.
If it would have been like right in that area, it should have picked me.
Oh, it'll pick up anything coming down the street this way.
You know where that tree is?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Watch, I'll show you. There's nothing on here. We've already watched that one. But like, you'll see this car.
What security system do you have?
Let's show you this car. You can see this car starting to drive down the street.
That one.
Oh,
See what I'm saying? It picks up all the way down there.
He's next door.
There we go.
I was talking about dispatcher. Heavy code 4.
Because yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making us turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars pulling a U turn. So, unless they pulled right here,
Yeah.
but I would have caught her walking out. Diesel. But yeah, I got nothing.
Nothing for the rest of the day.
No, that's it.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks. That's why her friend said it was low blood sugar.
And see, I've got her friend leaving out here at 2 in the morning. So, my camera. Did you go check if anything was missing around your house?
There wasn't nothing, like, there was all the old blankets and the and then her wedding ring was on my stand. Her phone was still there.
She dropped her off at 1 in the morning, right?
My doorbell said 1:48 she came in.
Okay.
In the days and weeks after the discovery, Nickole was forced to confront emotions that had no easy outlet. Survivor's guilt gnawed at her relentlessly, the haunting what-ifs and if-onlys looping endlessly in her mind. She had acted quickly, had called the police, had tried to protect Shanann and the children, and yet she felt as if she had failed. Each news report, each headline, reminded her that tragedy had reached further than any one person could control. She watched as strangers dissected her actions online, praising her as a hero while failing to understand the burden she carried quietly. There was no applause in the moments she replayed every detail in her mind, no comfort in knowing she had done the right thing. Every birthday, every family gathering, every ordinary moment reminded her of absence. Nickole struggled to sleep, to eat, to return to the routines that had once been comforting. She became aware of the fragile line between strength and vulnerability, realizing that even the strongest actions cannot shield the human heart from grief. Her own life continued outwardly, yet internally, it was fractured, the cracks deepened by memories she could not erase. If you believe these quieter stories deserve to be told, comment below, your voice matters here. And through it all, Nickole learned that courage is not measured by the absence of fear, but by showing up even when fear dominates. Years later, Nickole continues to live in the shadow of a crime she did not commit but could never forget. Anniversaries of that fateful day are etched into her memory, triggering memories she cannot control. Ordinary sounds, small details, even photographs bring sudden pangs of grief. Public attention has faded, but the internal weight remains. She watches the world move on while she carries what cannot be shared. Being a witness to unspeakable tragedy leaves invisible scars, reshaping trust, reshaping relationships, reshaping the very idea of normal. Nickole's life became a balancing act between honoring Shanann and her children and protecting herself from the endless waves of trauma. Speaking publicly requires careful choice of words. Each interview, each recounting, is measured to preserve dignity while acknowledging pain. She remains a quiet guardian of the memory of lives stolen too soon, her own grief woven into the fabric of her daily existence. If this story is making you think differently about the people behind the headlines, consider sharing it. It helps keep truth alive. And yet, despite the passing years, Nickole's actions continue to echo, a reminder that even when the world forgets, some lives cannot be erased.
Okay, I decided to go live before I lose my nerve, and I feel like because 2 songs played in the radio like back to back that someone was speaking to me, telling me that I just needed to get this off my chest and move on with my week and everything will be fine. So, if anybody knows me, they know what this week is, number 1. Number 2, you're reaching out to me to ask me questions or to offer your condolences. Well, to offer your condolences, I'm completely fine with that. That's cool, completely fine. I appreciate the love and support. I'm gonna swipe over in the comments because I'm not gonna answer people right now. I'll respond back to you later. So, but what I did want to go live about is, I know people mean well. I really, really know that you do. But this has been bugging me probably for like 3 weeks. Actually, it's probably been bugging me for more like 2 years now. But I've been biting my tongue and not saying anything because I'm not necessarily that person to be an asshole. But I feel like I have the right to be an asshole right now. So, I've earned it. I deserve it. I'm going to be an asshole. And if you don't like my cursing, then you might as well just stop watching now, because I'm a little angry because I've held on to some shit for 2 years and it's time to let it go. I'm going to try really hard to not start crying. But you want to message me and offer condolences or say something to me nice about my friend and her children, by all means, please do. They are appreciated. They are welcomed. But if you want to message me and ask me questions about what happened or that day, go fuck yourself. Really. Read the 2,000 pages of discovery. Watch the fucking body cams. Like, it's all out there. Whether we wanted it out there or not, it's there. You've all taken it and you have done what you wanted with it. You've talked about it on groups and groups and groups. People have taken it on YouTube. This is just how I feel about it. People have taken it and done however many videos on YouTube and made lots of money, believe me, because I know how YouTube works. I have a YouTube channel now. I've been monetized. I know how that whole thing works. So, you take the videos and you talk about it over and over and over again. Stop being fucking basic. Like, get your own content. Make your own shit. Like, please, by all means, if you want to inspire somebody, make your own shit and inspire somebody. Quit taking hers and dissecting it and trying to figure out the why, because we're never gonna know the fucking why. Like, we're never going to. As much as we want to, we're not. And as much as the messages are nice for prayers and condolences and all of that, I know I'm speaking for quite a few of us that were involved. We can be going about our day and trying to live our lives, because believe you me, there's not a day or a second that we don't think about it. There isn't, because we would give anything to go back and to change it, or to say something different, or to do something different, as little as it could have been if it would have changed it. But we can't. So, please think about when you're sending those messages. Like, just take a moment. And I'm probably going to get a lot of messages after this. But my point is it doesn't matter whether it's what's happened to me or if you've lost somebody, period. It's nice to be checked up on, but it also sucks
it really, really sucks. Because you can be going about your day, and for that one brief moment where you're just caught up in your day and you're finally not thinking about how it could have changed or what you could have done differently or what somebody else could have done differently, for that brief moment, you're not there anymore. And then you get a text message or a message from somebody and you pick up your phone to read it and you're taken right back there. Does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm speaking for everybody involved. That's just me personally.
7 years have passed since that day, yet the pain Nickole carries remains vivid. Time does not heal everything. Some grief is permanent, etched into memory, unshakable, a quiet ache that flares unexpectedly. She has learned resilience, though it is not triumph, it is survival. She moves through the world with the knowledge that her actions mattered, that her courage brought truth to light, even if peace eludes her. She is one of the unseen figures in this story, a witness whose vigilance saved the world from uncertainty, whose love and intuition could not save her friends, but ensured they were remembered. Her story is a reminder that true crime is not only about the perpetrator, but about those left behind, the quiet heroes, the ones who see, who act, who mourn, and who carry forward the weight of tragedy. She continues to live, to endure, and to honor Shanann, Bella, and Celeste in ways that cannot be measured by headlines or applause. If you value stories told with care, subscribe to Fatal Whispers. Remember the lives behind the headlines. In her memory and in her vigilance, we see the quiet courage of a friend who refused to turn away, even when the cost was her own peace. And though years pass, the ache remains, a testament to love, loss, and the enduring shadow of human cruelty.